third base that he got up, as well as the double siege tank production, really just wore him down. Overgrowth, 2-player map, though. See if MarineKing get tied up, or FanTaSy's going to take a 2-0 lead.
Down in the bottom left, a huge fan favorite, as you guys may or may not have heard, with the huge fan scream. It is FanTaSy. Usually you only get those kind of cheers in Pro League, but this guy's no joke.
Yep. And up to the top right in blue, it's MarineKing. King of Marines. I got an update on Twitter, actually. I do check this from time to time. Something I didn't notice is MarineKing actually had his factories were blocked. Someone told me. His tanks were not being able to produce, and I didn't actually notice that.
I was going to mention that because I saw like a tank with like an open, like empty bar underneath it, and I was like, is he just supply blocked? And I would look, and one time I saw FanTaSy was supply blocked, and I'm like, okay, he is, but I got the names mixed up. So that's
something to consider because he had
actually like
way
huge.
too few tanks.
He wasn't actually producing out of his factories for a very long time.
Okay, that makes sense a lot then. He did have more barracks though, and he did have a larger marine production. Didn't do 2-pack tank, but he didn't have any tanks for that block reason. Building placement, man, it's rough. Okay, so going into the second game, MarineKing has gas first. Very early gas going up here. And FanTaSy takes a more normal gas timing. So, I mean, he's probably just going to do a Reaper expand. It's really easy to scout with Reapers on this map. 2-player map, small map. You're going to get in there 100% and see what your opponent's up to.
So opponents switching builds here.
Yeah, trading it up.
You do see this sometimes in mirror matchups.
FanTaSy, okay, does make the Reaper. For a second there, he might not do it. MarineKing's going to be able to start his factory right away.
Coming over here knows that Overgrowth is a possible map for a 2-racks proxy. So if MarineKing was crazy enough to go for it, FanTaSy would have scouted it. Being very meticulous with this scouting pretty much everywhere close to his base that a proxy could be.
Yeah, just got to play it safe. You don't want to get killed by proxy Marauder either, man. That's a crazy build, or even proxy, double barracks Reaper or something like Gumiho style. I even saw a flash die that I think against Byung back in the day in the GSL. Reaper's going to come over here, see everything. First takes the watchtower and actually just holds there for a second, perhaps wanting to intercept another Reaper coming across the map, but...
Or an SCV, of which there is one down here in the bottom right, and... We're going to see a proxy starport here?
Looks like we might. Could be proxy Banshee. That's exactly what we're going to see.
This proxy Banshee, there's not enough room there for the add-on. He's going to have to move that.
Yeah, that's a bit annoying, but it'll be all right.
MarineKing showing he's not the best with his building placement.
Ooh. Gonna get that Reaper. Is he? Yes. It was like Gumiho. We saw his Reapers kept getting sniped as well. Just recently in TVT. But yeah, like you mentioned, this is going to have to be moved. That's a weird rally also.
Is he just going to rally a medevac? Yeah, I guess so.
That's weird. Okay. That's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, don't know.
It's faster this way.
He also, if he thought his opponent was going for Reapers, he hides a starport from view with this.
Yeah, but seeing the factory alone lets you know there's going to be a starport. Nobody rushes factory then expands, except when Warhounds are in the game, which that's not the case anymore. But yeah, this is just going to be a big drop, but FanTaSy knows what's up. It's really fast because of the rallied medevac. Imagine if this medevac was coming from the main right now. It would be a totally different story. But he's still got enough to defend and a bunker. He's just going to have to keep... He's basically just going to keep the pressure on here, see if he can snipe anything that gets too close on the high ground, and then force the command center to be in the main.
Yeah. But we got Reactor Hellions coming out here. And Viking is halfway done, which will make that line of sight definitely get taken out in that medevac. Be pushed away at least.
Good control there by MarineKing. Did take a lot of damage, but was able to react quickly.
There are Marauders on the way
here.
He's
going to do a Hellion Marauder timing to follow this up, looks like.
Yeah, just consistently rallying Marauders and Hellions over to the base, and just consistent pressure. No CC in sight. Or actually, well, no, not quite.
Not so sure about the effectiveness of this.
It's an interesting build.
FanTaSy is not making any more Marines right now because he's using that barracks to make add-ons. So he doesn't have a lot to put in that bunker. Bunker's going to get burst down by the Marauders. In fact, he might even ignore it if he realizes there's like nothing in it.
Scan comes down. You're saying FanTaSy loves to scan. He sees there's no CC on the way there.
Well, Concave at the top of the ramp here goes to FanTaSy, as well as that bunker, which he should put more Marines in. Okay, there he goes. SCVs do line up on the ramp, which is part of the strength of this push for MarineKing. SCVs would be great here to repair. He's only got the one that built the starport. Trying to get some good lineup shots here. But the Marines in the bunker are doing so much extra damage, and they've got that extra range from the bunker as well.
Missed target by FanTaSy. He actually did damage halfway to one Viking and then halfway to another Viking.
Yeah, that's
and now he's fighting against two Vikings. Now he loses it, whereas MarineKing keeps one.
That's going to cost him there. Now FanTaSy's getting cloak on the Banshee. He's just going to send that Banshee across the map. There's like no anti-air here at all. And
That could
the
do
Viking,
a lot of damage.
He knows the starport's proxied, so the Vikings are... He knows they're not going to be at home, so MarineKing is in a pretty big pickle right now, man. His command center is so late, too. The worker count in this game is already in FanTaSy's favor, 31 to 26. And if this Banshee does as much damage as I'm expecting it to do, that's going to change pretty fast.
He gets to scout on the Banshee.
But he still doesn't have anything he can do about it. I mean, he doesn't have an e-bait. He's just going to try to break this. And it looks like it might happen.
I don't know.
He's getting some good lineup shots, and the Marauders are here in the back with the healing on that medevac.
I think FanTaSy should have pulled SCVs here. Just because of the Marauders. He does it now.
And the Banshee's about to pop out, too. When the Banshee pops out, it's going to help defend this easily. Once that last Hellion falls, he's not going to have to worry about his SCVs being pulled anymore. There's the Banshee.
Look at the blue SCVs going down on the left side. Here we go. Cloak Banshee. Doesn't even need to cloak. There's nothing to defend, like you were saying before. And even if FanTaSy does take a lot of SCV kills here, even if he does lose a lot, he's doing more damage than the base of MarineKing.
And it's just going to... Look at MarineKing's pulling his SCVs across the map because that's all he can do. This game is already essentially over. There's no answer for these Banshees.
Even with the scan, it's not going to last long.
He could just escape. Yeah. Well, I'm surprised he's not, but that was wow. That was weird that happened. That actually just happened. We watched that. If Viking is landing, MarineKing's like, no, I'm going to make this work. Are you?
You're not taking me seriously here.
Here they come the SCVs.
There's more Hellions in this mix as well.
Yeah. Is he actually going to make this work? I cannot believe what I'm watching. If he can kill that Viking, if FanTaSy can kill that Viking, he can use his Banshees to defend. Oh my god. Repair on the Hellions as well.
Okay. Looks like he has cleaned it up.
Yeah.
Even with the Banshee coming out as well. This is going to be cleaned up.
Yep. The Banshee has cloak, so as soon as I have enough energy, cloak that as well. MarineKing is trying to make this work, but fine, the last of his units are falling. He's not going to be able to kill these Banshees because...
This time he does take it seriously and escape the scan. And MarineKing, we were talking about GG timings.
Yeah.
He's got one SCV and a medevac and a Viking.
He dropped an SCV in the mineral line to attack. Okay. That should be it.
Well, 2 more Hellions.
2 more Hellions. Thanks for the show, MarineKing. GG. Oh, he typed it, I thought. He's really mad, as you can tell. GG.
Well, interesting little all-in there. I mean, he had a CC behind it, but the Banshee just stopped that pipe beam from coming through. And FanTaSy takes a quick 2-0 lead. MarineKing just looks a bit off today. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a weird all-in. I don't like it. FanTaSy scouted that he had no CC, so he was like, I'm just going to keep this bunker up here. I'm not going to move down the ramp. I have a CC and you don't, so
FanTaSy did defend very well. He identified what was happening very early on, and he just, like you said, pretty stellar performance there. Very nice idea to get the Cloak Banshees out as well in the interim during the time when he had, before all those Marauders got pulled out by MarineKing.
Had MarineKing pulled his SCVs earlier, actually, might have had a better chance there.
Possibly, yeah.
Or with a better repair on his health.